Yes, my people, and welcome back to AJCars. Now, as you've seen by the title, we are going to be explaining why you should and shouldn't get your car lowered and spaced.
So yes people, as you've seen from the last video, we took a trip up to see Dave at DRW Performance. He's based in Merseyside around Liverpool and he specialises in VAG, BMW, anything else. We'll drop his link link to his website in the description. He fitted my springs, my spacers. He also fitted Alex's springs, and then Alex has now finally got his spacers on. So we didn't get many clips in the last video at Dave's, pretty much because we were just quite excited. Sounds silly, but to get our springs and spacers on, because we'd been waiting for so long to finally get them done. And as you can see, we're now gassed because they look sick. Alex didn't have his spacers on before, so we didn't really know what it was going to look like. But as you can see, it's now looking fat. We're both really happy. So mine's been lowered 25-25, Vogland springs, and it's had 12mm spacers at the front and 15 at the back. I'm pretty sure the brand's Bimek. But as you'll see throughout the video, the car's sitting perfectly, especially now because it's been a week since we went. So the springs have had proper time to settle and settle properly. But yeah, on the UK roads, this sort of drops perfect for me because obviously, especially if we're putting splitters and stuff on, which I haven't got now. But like if you look at Alex, he's obviously running Maxton splitters. He's just got the side skirts, which will be coming up in a soon video. So yeah, like on the UK roads, you're going over speed bumps. There's potholes fucking everywhere. And if you go too low just for the scene, you're going to smash everything off your car and you're going to be getting a new direct debit for a splitter every month.
So guys, as you've just seen, John has had his lowered and spaced. Mine, when we went to the DRW Performance, I only got my springs done because, like a twat I am, I didn't order the bolts for my spacers, so they didn't go on. But now they are on, and it's exactly how I want it to, but not too low. Like John said, UK roads are fucking horrendous. They're just awful, potholes everywhere. You can't drive a low car in this country. It's just impossible. You're right off your splitter everywhere. But I'm happy the way it sits now. The spacers make it look better. How it should look, in my opinion, it just sits perfectly. So when I first got it lowered, I wasn't best pleased with the outcome just because it hadn't set properly and I didn't have the space on. So at first sight, it looked good because it looked lowered, but I wasn't really happy with it. But as soon as I put the spacers on and they set, so it doesn't set a lot, but it does set a little bit more, I was very happy with it. So next on the agenda for this car now, just to set it, make it that little bit lower, make it look a bit more stance. Side splitters are going on. I've got them in the house now. They're going to go on soon. We will do a video on how to install these splitters. But yeah, I'm happy with the way it is now. I've also got PS4s on the front now, which will actually give me that grip.
They're S's, isn't it? PS4s?
PS4 S's, yeah, PS4 S's. But yeah, the car, the way it's sat now, the way it is, the way it drives, I'm happy with it at the moment. Obviously there's more mods coming, more mods to John's, but I think we both, if you can agree or you can't agree, but we both think these cars, how they look now, sit how they should come out of the factory, and I think they look amazing.
So the first big reason why we both wanted to get our cars lowered, and I think why most people want to get their cars lowered, is just purely the looks and the stance. It's a big thing getting your car lowered, and a lot of people instantly jump to getting coilovers or think about getting coilovers On these cars, coilovers are very expensive. On every car, to be fair, coilovers are very expensive. You know, you're talking for a budget option, you're talking £1,000 fitted most of the time, unless you're running like a standard Fiesta or something, or along them lines where you can get them like for £400. But at the end of the day, they're going to be shit. They're going to be shit quality. They're going to be Chinese reps. They're just going to be shit. If you want to get, like, for example, KW V3s or Club Sports, you're talking thousands. Like, you're talking like £2 grand for V3s fitted. And if you get the electronic ones, they're like £2.5 grand. And you start going up, you start going like Olin suspension, and you're talking like £5,000–6,000 at a time. It's absolutely crazy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not slating on coilovers at all, because coilovers have a purpose, so do springs. If you're taking your car on track, or you want the adjustability, or you're just a bit indecisive, then definitely coilovers are the way to go. But if you just want a budget option, a cheaper version, and all you care about is looks, then definitely springs are just easy and are cheap, and definitely go look into getting them.
So John has spoke about price and looks, which I can agree with. Everyone wants the car to look better, but on the flip side to that, you've got to be careful how much you go by. So if you're on coilovers, you can get adjustable coilovers, so you can literally, if it's too low, bring it up. If you want it lower, bring it down. That's fine, but obviously you're spending big money again. If you want springs, you have to have the right height for you. So they're 35mm H&R springs. Now that to me is a nice height. I don't hit speed bumps with my splitter. Obviously if you don't have a splitter on, you won't really care because you ain't going to hit anything. But when you've got splitter kits on, which I'm putting side splitters on, and I've got the front splitter, and I dropped it to 35. Now to me, I don't think that's going to scuff any of my splitters or anything, but if you go too low, if you, let's say that was 45mm or even 50mm dropped, it'll be right tucked inside the arch, and depends on how nice you want your car to look, or your purpose for why you're doing it. If you're doing it for a car show sort of car, you're going to have it really low, or even adjustable coilovers. But you need to be careful when you do it, because I can bet my life, if you drop it too much and you haven't measured it, you haven't seen pictures of other people's cars, you're going to clip something and you're going to be really pissed off that you got your car low and now you got to buy a new front splitter. So just take that into consideration. And also spacers as well. Now I've got the spacer now, John has his spacers. Now what you got to remember is they bring the wheels out, not from factory. So you're driving your car every single day, you're used to the width of your car. Once you've got your spacers on, your car gets wider, possibly curb a wheel. Now you're going to be really pissed off if you've got a brand new car with a brand new set of alloys and you curb them. You're going to be really fucking annoyed, especially me. I definitely would be. I don't know how this guy curbed all of his wheels when he was fucking driving it. I'd be fuming. It weren't me. But once you got the spacers on, they do affect your driving. You just need to be careful, because if you curb a wheel, you're going to be pissed. So just take that into consideration. So as I said before, make sure you do your research, because what me and John both did, we went on Instagram, we went on YouTube, Google Images even if you really wanted to. There's always got an example of what you want on your car. Instagram's probably the best for it, because loads of people modify their cars on Instagram and they take pictures of it. So I just searched 40mm drops. I've got people on my Instagram with 40mm drops, I've got people with coilovers, I've got people with 25mm drops. It's finding the right height for you. Some you might not like, some you do like, some might be too much, some might be too low, I don't know. But you need to do your research, because it will make a difference. If you do it too much and you bought the springs or you bought the coilovers that aren't adjustable, you spend big money and you're not happy with the outcome of it, and you're going to be backtracking, you're going to be really pissed off. So just do your research. I advise that heavily. Do your research.
So the last point to talk about is the performance benefits from getting springs. I know we've talked a bit about coilovers, and obviously I'm sure you all know the benefits of them, but purely springs, so you've got to think, obviously the spring is going to be a slightly bit stiffer over factory really, so you know, and you sit slightly lower, that lower centre of gravity, so you're more aerodynamic, and you naturally sit lower in the car, and because the car's sitting lower, it's probably going to corner a slight bit better, especially with the stiffer springs. So overall, you know, you get performance benefits, and you know, you can pick up springs for, like, depending on what car you've got, £100–200. Don't get me wrong, they're hard to fit if you don't know what you're doing. More so if you just don't have the right tools. So it's going to cost you like 100–150 quid in labour to get someone to fit them, really, unless you know someone. But yeah, another big benefit is the performance, really. With stiffer springs, you know, you get the looks, you get the little bit of performance, and you know, like we talked about, as long as you don't go too low, you're going to absolutely love it, and it's a very, very good and cheap mod to do. So yes people, that was just a little video after you've seen our springs and spacers installed and why we think you should get them done.
We've got, as we always say in pretty much every video, but we have got some exciting stuff coming. Alex has got full splitter kit going on. I've got an induction kit on order, so that's going to sound mad. We'll hopefully get this stuff fitted next week and then get the videos out in the following weeks.
I'm also wrapping this little fucking strip here.
Yeah, so it's going to go wide mouth. And like I say, we've got loads of stuff in the pipeline. We're looking at going Santa Pod. We're looking at doing a track day. But we wanted to just finish the video really by saying that we don't want to put out boring videos, and we don't just want to put out like content you don't really want to see. And I guess we probably fell into the trap sometimes of thinking, you know, let's just get a video out, and it's not done as well. Or
we'd rather put out a video that we know you're going to want to see, instead of guessing and trying to please an audience that we don't know what they want. We'd rather put out videos that we know you want, that we know you're going to enjoy.
And if you like I say, if you like these cars and you want to see more of them, just let us know what you want to see us do, because you know we can do it. If you want to see us go drag strip and go Santa Pod and race some things, then we'll do it. If you want to see us go and do a novice, go a novice track day, then we'll do it. Like,
head to head.
Yeah, that'd be mad. But yeah, like I say, if you can drop anything you think down below, or just let us know, hit us up on Instagram, anything, then yeah, we're proper grateful. And like we always say in every video, we try and reply to everyone in the comments, and we really appreciate you subscribing, you liking, all that stuff. So yeah, from AJCars, we'll catch you in the next one.